under the NNPC. We're hearing they want to secretly infuse him into the All Progressives Congress, and they were indicting the president and his wife for wanting to resolve or cover up the case, making what Adam Soshomole said, that once you enter the APC, all your sins are forgiven. So I want to see how this case would go. It's very imperative. A lot of cases have been Yahaya
Bello and Adelabu, the man that just left the power
exactly
ministry.
That's very true. We want to know where all the sums of money went,
because money were so much released in his era as Minister of Power,
and we didn't get power.
We saw a collapse of greed throughout.
That's true.
What about the 210 trillion?
Please come closer to your mic, Mr. Lawal.
Okay, I said, what about the 210 trillion NNPC?
That's what I just mentioned now. I just mentioned it now about Wunti. Exactly. So in the case of this energy commissioner, I'd like this, and I hope that we're not going to hear the EFCC has released him and then all of a sudden somebody is vying for one position or the other. Let's hope that whatever investigation is carried out is properly carried out. I believe that before the EFCC arrests you, they must have found something credible, all right, to come and arrest you for it. If the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually fights corruption like this, regardless of whatever speculation is attached to his person, I think that would be prudent.
No, we want to see more.
That's what we're saying. Let's see more of this. Let it not seem as if it's a political witch hunt, because sometimes it may seem like there is one story or the other connected, and maybe this person seems to be an impediment, and before you know, law enforcement is applied to store the person, because that's what is being attached to Malami and El Rufai. We're seeing how El Rufai's case that is bailable, he's been kept in detention for a very long time, and we're hearing that he may be there up until maybe towards the elections, whereby whatever shenanigan they think he can do to impede the campaign for the APC may not be able to take place. So let's see more of this. We expect more of this, and let us not hear later that this is a political witch hunt on whatever reason. We also heard about NSA, the controversy surrounding the recent Homeland Security General that has been appointed by the president. So based on what Atiku's spokesperson said, Paul Ibe, who is a former spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar, claimed that President Tinubu has effectively marginalized the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. We await the presidency to clear out this narrative. Let's know precisely what this means. From what Ibe is telling us, he's alleging that the recent appointment of retired Major General Adeyinka Famadewa as a special advisor on Homeland Security is one of the reasons. According to Ibe, the move signals a significant shift in the administration's security hierarchy, suggesting that Famadewa's new role is intended to bypass the traditional authority or the NSA. The appointment sparked widespread debate amongst political observers. Many are questioning whether the Office of Homeland Security is designed to eventually replace or completely overshadow Ribadu's current position. You have the National Intelligence Agency, that's NIA. You have the DSS. You have the SSS. All right. You have the what other security agency that has to do with intelligence gathering and protection of our territory? We have, yes, I think we have the Defense Ministry. These are ministries that provide intelligence reports.
Directorate of Defense Information.
But my question now is, if we have all the secret operations, right? What is the role of the Homeland Security? Because that's, we know that to be that of the
time we are hearing that kind of office.
That's what I'm saying. It's familiar with that of the US, the United States of America, where they have that department. So is this department overshadowing another department? You have the National Security Advisor, obviously in charge of all the security apparatus when it comes to military intelligence, military gathering, whatever it is, secret of the government, of certain profile places and the dark web. This guy is in charge of that. So what role is this Homeland Security supposed to play? Is it Homeland Security for the presidency, for Nigeria's territory? Is it overseeing other security agencies?
The president wants somebody that is very close to him, that can be feeding him with.
Is Nuhu Ribadu not close to the president?
You may not understand, Esther. You may not understand closeness when we are talking about politicians, and you know that the name you mentioned is from the president's king, Kit and King. It's coming from his president's tribe, so there could be a difference where we are talking of closeness. The name you just mentioned.
But my own is that maybe the president is trying to, diversify that power. So you monitor the monitorer, you investigate the person who investigate others, which makes sense to me, because if you have this spread across, it is easier for you that even somebody you let go, somebody else will investigate that person, find something culpable, and then arrest the person. You get what I'm saying? So when it's spread like that, you have different agencies managing different things. If you let somebody go, like in your agency, you let that person go, another agency can still find something wrong with that person and bring that person back. But when you have only one, like the NSA, it's shocking.
I'm trying to understand what are you trying to say? Are you saying that the separation helps?
Yes.
Or that
like
each of the agency, each of the agency checks the other?
Yes,
what you mean?
Yes, checkmate.
Okay.
Monitor the monitorer.
Even some of the things we heard from the NSA's office, something of this nature is even good to also checkmate some of those things we hear from coming out from NSA office.
Okay, but my question is, what role is the Homeland Security supposed to play? Is it just something independent, something different from the others?
Yeah, it's possible, Esther. It could be like one of the president's kitchen cabinet, just like you have the Bajabi Amila's office. What do you call that? Chief of staff. All this one can work very closely with the president. Nuhu Ribadu can be working on the other side of the whole generality of Nigeria. If there is anything that needed to be cross-checked by both of them, they can come together. But I believe this one is going to be closer, because we are talking about homeland. You understand? That's national security advisor. So I think the president want to have somebody that will be like my own representative, who I can vouch for and tell me the truth about any matter that comes up. So
it's possible these guys don't tell the president the truth. It's possible they hide secret stuff from him.
It's very, very possible. Now, have we not heard some bandit that said their guns, the guns that were found with them, they said came from the NSA's office. The branding of the gun. Have you heard anything about that matter any longer, Esther? So something like that, something of this nature can be picked up by this Homeland Security Office, and actually look into it. And is this gun? How did they actually get to this hand? And if they can mention NSA office, regarding this gun, how did they actually come? So there should be a cross-checking of facts among themselves.
Okay, let's see how.
Matter in Nigeria, I mean, it's too much now. So we need more
all over the world where they are succeeding. You don't have one or two. Because if one or two is compromised, you are finished. But you have like 6 or 7, 8 or 10 different ones. Each one will investigate you like three times. So it's easier. It's difficult for you to get out. For example, these terrorists, we are saying repentant terrorists. Who's monitoring them? You just release them and they forget. They must be monitored. They must be, gradually checked to be sure that.
I don't know if they do, because the last time was it not in Borno State when they were reintegrating 117 of them? This was yesterday. They said the final stage is the swearing with the Quran.
Swearing of the Quran.
Yes.
What does that?
Hold on, please. They were swearing with the Quran. They said that oath of taking that oath is a sacrament. It means that they have spiritually bound themselves not to go against what they have promised they will not go back to. So they complained about funding to check these guys. They complained heavily about it. So we're expecting to see that if there is no funding, there's a possibility that they were reintegrated to whatever sector or department.
Like that.
Yes, that is why some of them go back to their previous commanders. Because, Mr. Elvis, I don't know if you understand, these guys attach themselves to some form of diabolism, and their previous commanders in either Sambisa Forest or the other, they usually do this blood oath thingy. So whether they try to de-radicalize them, there's a serious, they need to do what you call serious disconnect. So when they put them into that zone to fight their own people, whereby if they see their previous commanders or have to confront them, whatever it is that they had supposedly sworn with them before does not make them go back to it. So according to them, they have to spiritually bind them with the Quran. Okay. I don't know if it works. I saw when they said they are swearing the Quran. It depends on the way you look at it spiritually, Esther.
So you want to tell me that they didn't swear with Quran initially when they went to that terrorism? You want to tell me they didn't do that?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Now, you are not telling us to swear with Quran. What has that got to do with security?
They are not telling you. They are telling them, the terrorists, are you a terrorist?
No, they are telling themselves.
They are telling the terrorists.
You now say that after you have you release them, you don't have funds to monitor them.
Yes, they don't.
That doesn't sound well
not
now.
Just to monitor them, they don't have funds even for the program. The DIR program, they complained heavily to feed them, to reorient them, where they get counselors that helps to help to clear out whatever brainwashing they've gone through, all the counseling process, and even the vocational skill acquisition, because they bring in people
they need to be funded.
Yes, they need to be funded. So they complained about no funding.
Grant to start off.
Yeah, exactly. They complained about lack of funding, and that's why there is no follow-up. And so you see these guys fall back. In fact, we've heard reports of some of them who go back to picking up arms. They say because eventually the government leaves them, they go back to their villages, no food, no source of income. Sometimes the neighborhood isolates them. They distance themselves like they have leprosy.
Yes.
So because of that they feel alone, and they usually go back. So poverty leads them to go back into that stuff. So is a major challenge. I don't know how this program
those who
works.
have been integrated into the military and the other security operatives?
All right.
Are they not like a mold here?
Mr. Elvis, Mr. Lawa Ekundayo, while we're looking at all of this, Showere came out to lambast Akpabio because he promised to deliver highest votes for Tinubu. You know how Showere speaks, he doesn't have a filter. He went ahead to say that slamming Godswill Akpabio over a promise to deliver massive votes for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election. Akpabio made the promise during the consultation with critical stakeholders of the ruling All Progressives Congress at the government house in Uyo. And so, reacting to the statement, Showere accused Akpabio of padding votes in 2019 to claim victory for himself, stressing that the professor involved in the manipulation ended up in jail. We're even hearing that the person is not actually in jail. So he says Godswill Akpabio is promising Bola Ahmed Tinubu massive votes from Akwa Ibom when in 2019 he had padded votes to claim victory himself. The rigging was so brazen that even the professor accused of manipulating results for him ended up in jail. That by 2023, Akpabio could not even secure victory at the party primaries until a compromise court decision helped insert him as a candidate. Foolish people. Okay, we're going to look into that because there are talks of massive rigging to take place in the upcoming 2027 elections. Meanwhile, the state chairman forum of the African Democratic Congress, they're warning that aspirants who buy expression of interest and nomination forms from the faction led by Senator David Mark, I don't want to call it faction because their names have been uploaded on the ANA portal, risk being disqualified from the 2027 race. The chairman warned that the sale of forms by the Mark-led faction violates the April 29 order of the Abuja High Court and has legal consequences. Obviously, the position was made known in a statement by the publicity secretary of the state chairman-led National Executive Committee Forum of the party, Norman Obinna. He stated that the sale of forms by the Mark Group breaches the recent Abuja Federal High Court judgment. So there's a lot in that regard concerning the ADC. They're urging aspirants purchasing forms to consider the legal risk and other consequences for their candidates. Mr. Elvis, you're going to be responding to that very shortly because Bolaji Abdullahi earlier today admitted that the exit of Peter Obi and Kwankwaso was a huge deal for them in the ADC. He says it was a glitch, it's a major setback. He didn't deny it, and that he doesn't know what happened because he doesn't think that Peter Obi or Kwankwaso were sidelined in the ADC either, and whatever excuse they're given, he doesn't want to keep up with that. But he's also saying that there is a possibility of the opposition producing one candidate, and he's not speaking as opposition of the ADC alone, the ADC, NDC, whatever. I don't know what negotiations are ongoing, and I don't know what that means because according to him, he says it is better to have a united opposition against the incumbent. Bolaji Abdullahi is reiterating what Atiku Abubakar said yesterday. Atiku said any of the opposition parties zoning their ticket to the south are making a grave mistake, that it is only a northern candidate that can dislodge Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. But the big question is this: why would you think it's only a northern candidate? And why do you think you are the northern candidate that is more qualified to dislodge Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration? Because the political attributes of these stalwarts, I'm talking about those who have been foundations of political party structures and build up, they have this establishment politics. the old way of doing things. It's something that they are used to,
like godfathers.
Yes, that kind of conceding to supposedly win. And the structure, the political terrain has changed because you're having young, vibrant persons in the polity now. And those ones are saying, we will no longer allow you guys to continue to represent us, because when you get there, you don't represent our interest. But the problem is that some of the young persons who even have some positions are not representing. They are still taking a cue from the old links, which is what 2023 was all about. And this will bring us to the NDC as a political party and the strategy they need to apply, especially in the core north. Now, what Bolaji Abdullahi is telling us is that a broad opposition coalition is still very much alive and focused on removing Tinubu and the APC at the polls. How do they intend to make that happen? Because the deadline has closed for anyone to defect. With the new electoral act, or the reviewed electoral act, a lot of things that used to be is no longer. The APC administration made some certain changes to ensure that last minute altercations by political elements to supposedly create a surprise swift doesn't take place. So we need to see how that changes the perspective in the political scene. So Mr. Elvis Ali Mehele, good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, Esther. How is your day?
We're fine. Mr. Lawal Kundayo, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's start off with the recent detention and obviously arrest of Saleh Maman, more than 75 years imprisonment, and the Energy Commissioner of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the first of its kind actually since he came into office in 2023. What's your brief take on that?
Yeah, I was happy when I saw that sentence. I think Nigerians need more of that. We're talking of Zungeru and Mabila embezzlement, 33.8 billion.
500 billion.
I mean, I'm talking of Mama Sally.
Okay, Mama Sally. Okay.
So I was happy. I mean, if you were given that kind of position, you are the custodian of that office as minister. One would have expected that those that appointed you want you to bring an input, positive input into that ministry to actually show up the popularity of their government to Nigerians, that it was during my time as president and you yourself appointed as minister that we were able to complete those projects. Zungeru and Mabila has been in the pipeline for so many years. Everybody is looking at when will it end, so that this one can become one of the national grid that will also generate electricity and transmit it to the national grid for Nigerians to use. And this is the biggest problem we have in this nation, lack of electricity. And somebody that was giving the custodian of that office came in and saw that this is the same time he's going to use that office to fester his own pockets. I mean, it was an aberration, and I thank the court for doing the needful. We want to see more of this. Even the one that has just been picked up now is still along the energy line. Now that we are talking of power and energy, then yes, this one should also be investigated appropriately, and it should also be extended to Adelabu, who has just left here. Since we are still talking of power and energy, Adelabu just left to go, start going to contest for the governorship of his state. Let ICPC and EFCC also bring Searchlight into his stewardship in that office before he left. We want to see more of this. And if President Tinubu continues in this manner, his administration continues in this manner, Nigerians will also applaud him. In this office, Esther, we have voice of the people.
Yeah.
Where he does well, we commend him. Where we still believe that he still need to, do a little bit better, we also remind them.
Yeah.
Where he has failed, absolutely, we also criticize him. That's what we do here, balance it. So now this sentence was good, but it should not close there. Adelabu's books should be looked into. For this period, he stayed as minister for power. Then other ones, like Betta Edu, that almost be forgotten, let them go. If they can go and bring Shodia, the one that handed over to her, they should also bring Betta Edu now. Because we want to see more of Nigerian money coming back to Nigerians. Instead of us going to borrow at all time, telling the World Bank, if you don't release it within 6 months, we are not going to take it again. We will let us be spending our own money. With just 23 billion or whatever is what our president led this nation for almost a month now, almost a week now, going to start servicing the young boy, Emmanuel Macron, for just 23 billion for the whole of Africa to share. Is that money to a country like Nigeria? It's a shame that's what the president is junketing around a small boy, because of 23 billion. And meanwhile, there are so many Nigerians who has that that they stole from Nigeria's
exactly.
So let us look inward. If we can look inward and guide these ones back, Esther, we don't even need to start moving around.
You know, or like we heard about the 800 billion naira in the Progressive Governors Forum, our money being used for campaigns, that the president had to intervene, and now it's quiet. We thought that we would have set up a panel to probe that in and tell us where that money came from. You know, a lot of the funds needs to be accounted for.
Much money,
it's not making sense to me. I don't understand.
In the hands of individual. And remember that when money is so much in the hands of individual in this nature, it can also lead to terrorism. We don't know people that are actually funding these terrorists. These terrorists have a lot of arms and ammunition. People are buying it for them. It's not these young boys in the bush that buy those guns by themselves. People buy, people also clear and take the logistics down to them in the bush, because there are money in the hands of Nigerians who do not want the system to work, so that their business of this terrorism and tapping of minerals resources illegally can fester. Fester. The government should bring Searchlight inward to recover more of this.
Do you know the funny thing? Atiku Abubakar just buttressed the point that you made, that the governors of the APC are diverting public funds for campaigns. This was a statement he made through his media aide, Paul Ibe. All right. He claimed that Bola Tinubu's administration was colluding with state governors to divert public resources into accounts allegedly earmarked for the president's 2027 re-election campaign. And he stated that funds that should have been used for governance and public welfare were being redirected into dedicated accounts for political mobilization ahead of the 2027 elections, and that the development was worsening the economic hardship, insecurity, and poverty across the country, stressing that citizens are bearing the consequences of the mismanagement of national resources. I'm sure Atiku is referring to the 800 billion naira that could not be accounted by the president of the Governors Forum.
The Governors Forum.
You know,
the
Progressive Governors Forum, which caused a faction, and they eventually, Ubasani had to come and clear out that that's not true. It is even the politics amongst them, you know. And when you hear this kind of thing exposed, it's disgusting, I'm sorry to use that word, that you now hear that the president was called in to intervene. Why would the president be called in to intervene in such a dirty nonsense?
Let the appropriate authority
EFCC. I was expecting you to say something like EFCC.
Every time the president.
I don't know. They treat Nigeria like a family, that just like one for a father and his children. I mean, this is a nation.
I think the word intervene sounds like political. Yes,
he's not even meant. It's not political. It's not meant to be mentioned.
I'm going somewhere. You know, when you say political, means that you now come in and try to see how the whole thing will settle down.
You don't get it, Mr. Lawal. An actionable president is meant to give a disposition. No, what I'm saying is that an actionable president is meant to distance himself from such nonsense. You already have a narrative around you about fraudulent corruption, whatever, and that the kind of people you surround yourself with are corruptible individuals. I don't care about whatever speculations about your personality. If there is no credible evidence to that effect, it's not the truth. But you can clear your name now that you're the president. Anybody that is caught misappropriating public funds, anybody indicted in whatever manner, should be prosecuted immediately and asked to step down from your office. You're not supposed to tolerate nonsense. What I am trying to say is that the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is so lucky, unopposed, there's no opposition for Tinubu. There is no opposition at all with what we are seeing. So you can actually clear your name. Why would monies, people's money, Nigeria's money, we are hearing billions, trillions, dollars, individuals are having access to it?
And meanwhile, we are going out every day to go and start borrowing from even kiosk and roadside kiosk abroad, all in the name of, you know, look at the one they said they are expecting from the World Bank. What did they say to show up economy? And
whatever that means.
One is just going to be for campaign, because it's not tied to any tangible project. They just, you know, for abstract.
And they even put agriculture there.
Yeah, they put agriculture and they put they said for attractiveness or whatever. So just look at what they put that on.
You're talking about 1.6 trillion naira, extra 1.6 trillion naira from the World Bank, beyond the one that was collected last month from the Senate for the Sokoto Badagry Highway.
516 $1 million.
And World Bank, they want to lend them now. They are now threatening World Bank.
Yeah,
I thought they normally chase people to come and borrow. Why are we chasing to collect?
They said that will be one of the highest sum of money borrowed by a country
second
largest from a country.
Yeah, second largest.
So how do you intend to pay back that loan?
And they're already threatening.
You're going to use.
They're already threatening World Bank.
Nigerians.
You're going to use our
loan. Will be ready to be paid back. Many of them that are collecting will no longer be alive. Forget about they are telling them that they are 70s.
They will have used it to buy properties in which their children will sit on it and say we will inherit the properties, and then Nigerians will now suffer.
So they are just mortgaging the future of our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, because that is when this loan will be getting matured for payment, and they will not remember that one stupid grandfather put them in these debts.
Do you know we are already facing serious challenges on these loans? Because I keep saying it. How can you be servicing loan with like something like 15 to 17 trillion, where people who actually govern these countries use 2 trillion to govern the country, for God's sake, and they did it very, very well. No, so they pay subsidy. They did all these things.
What model of democracy do we supposedly apply? What's the model? Is it the UK model or the American model?
America.
No, this is not American model.
No, it's supposed. I said supposed.
The America.
Supposed model.
Okay.
Because our system of government is hybrid.
Yes.
It's more military. It's not absolute democracy.
They're not even doing democracy.
Demo military. There's a supposed presence of democracy.
I said it.
But it is more kind of authoritarian, because if there was proper democracy, I mean, we would not have the government do certain things.
The only area you call your government is just for you to go and get your PVC.
Exactly.
That's just the only area there. Get your PVC. The election itself is not democratic. At
So
the end of the day, the moment it goes one side.
The moment you miss it out in the election, your election is not credible. You can't have democracy. There's nothing democratic about it.
That day, or you pick your PVC, and probably they fix an election date. You get to the pool. Whatever happens there after thumb printing, forget about it. There's no more democracy.
It's now in the hands of very few Nigerians, and they will now control the whole thing.
That's why Mahmoud could come out and tell us there was a glitch after announcement at 3 a.m. and told
it's now ambassador.
And everybody kept quiet.
Yes, so there's no more democracy.
Nobody sued to. People sued to court, but nothing happened.
No, nothing will happen. So that's just it. Exactly, that's the military aspect of the democracy we practice. It must.
It's not even worse like this during the military.
Be one side.
So I want to understand, why do we have brazenness in corruption? God, do you know how painful it is, Mr. Elvis? People are sick.
Esther.
People are sick. There are no grants to say in terms of healthcare, providing healthcare for such life-threatening illnesses. Our public health facilities, God, you don't understand.
Esther,
in the US, the supposed model that we're emulating, they have food stamps in situations like this where things are difficult. For example, let's assume that the whole issue of the increment in fuel price, despite the fact that we're a nation that has crude oil, but we're paying the consequences
of something that has nothing to do with us.
Terrible leadership, lack of competence, and the inability to think outside the box. Because I don't know why we don't have more than one Dangote refinery. I don't know why licenses are not granted for refineries to be built if the government of the day is unable to create or establish refineries. So I don't know why you don't release licenses to individuals. So we have more than one refining output. But let's just say that what's going on in Iran is what's causing what is currently happening in Nigeria. Why is there no palliative to cushion the blunt effect of that? You could have food stamps. You could bring in subsidy on transportation. I don't know. Governors could even apply it. I think was it not when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced that fuel subsidy is gone, the Lagos state government did something similar to food stamps, where you can go to certain places and buy food. Yes, food where you buy food items half the price. I don't know why that was not sustained. They stopped it. It was a beautiful initiative. It's something that could be introduced across the states, rather than giving money to the governors and telling them this is for palliatives.
One thing is this: there are countries that are doing very well and they have state-owned refineries. Is it a crime? We don't have to be padding something that is wrong and begin to manage it. It is wrong. It is wrong. There's nothing wrong about Nigeria having its own refinery. We had it, we built it, it was working for us. but some bad leaders came on board and then we let them go. They came on board, they bastardized and destroyed the whole thing, and then we celebrate them now. You see over all over the you see military, past military head of states with their names all over the place, whatever.
Let me tell you, Mr. Lawa, what is going on in Nigeria, it is just corruption. Nothing more than that. Those refineries worked till they were grounded because they were not maintained. And people were appointed, and some people
they were stealing that money. They
were ministers for petroleum. People were MDs at the various refineries, and we have the retinue of directors and managers and all. Nobody thought about maintenance of this cash cow that one day to be grounded.
Though money were voted for that.
Yes, every year there is budget. And remember, that's also what happened to Nigeria Airways. Nigeria Airways got grounded because ministers, politicians were not giving ticket to their wives and their girlfriends, to fly Nigeria Airways. Let me tell you, the only problem we have in this nation. This morning, Esther, I saw a newspaper clip of 1976 of 20 naira. A judge was arrested for taking a bribe of 20 naira in Benue State. 20 naira. Let me tell you, the founding fathers of this nation, if they have laid a concrete law down, to curb this corruption, like supposing we have law as stringent as if you are found corrupt, you are going to face execution, it wouldn't have gotten to this level. We have always been paying lip service to corruption all along. Remember Nzegu scoop. Go and read Nzegu scoop. The first coup, it was all about corruption. Go and read all the subsequent coups that you'll be hearing in this nation. They kept, before the military make one or two sentences, they'll be talking about corruption. But there is no successive government that have ever come and say it must end in my regime. Even when they come in as the military, they worsen the situation. They worsen, within them. So the solely that's just that announcement that we hear, this government is, because so corrupt, that's why we came in. They come in, they get the system worse. If we have had a concrete government that said enough of this corruption, come up with capital punishment, even go back, bring those of them that can be investigated, and bring back and show example to the future that these are the people and the future and the present. Esther, we wouldn't have been saying what we are saying here. Everything is not working in Nigeria is just because of corruption, nothing more than that. Immediately you are appointed today, it starts from that. You go and do Thanksgiving either in your mosque or in your church, then you now begin to receive congratulatory message. People will go and pay that advert in the newspapers and television to start congratulating you. Psychophancy has started, and by the time you get in there, they are coming to start selling dummy to you. And by the time you come back home and say you served the government for 4 years, they'll tell you, they cost you for your village. What are they talking about? That when you go to serve government, you are coming to come back to your village with handful of people's Nigeria's money. So because we have never had the willpower,
it's like the political elites don't even consider that it's the people that put them there. They're so confident that they can come back with or without the people.
Because there is no credibility in the electoral system. The same way we saw in 2023. How will you not have the boldness? Esther, all the Labour Party legislators that we thought they were going to spring the narrative differently, do you hear of them today? All of them that ride on Obi's back in 2023 to get into the legislative arm of government, the National Assembly. Do you hear of them any longer? Have you asked of all the LP legislators, both in the House of Rep and the Senate? Did you hear of them when they were sharing car that we came here to make the difference? We are not going to be part of this. Everything that is not normal in this National Assembly, we are going to be exposing it because we came in to become different legislators. Did you hear of them? All of them collected the car. All of them are collecting their constituency project money now that they never go to. All of them so it's just the same thing. Even as we are talking about now, all of them are prepared now. By the time they also ride on some of these political parties to get to the National Assembly, give them only 3 months. They'll start looking at the ruling party.
Do you recall the United States of America the United Kingdom during the time of was it not Theresa May, when they were fighting for Brexit, for the UK to get out of the other European nations, and according to them, they said it was taking them time. After, was it Tony Blair was before?
He started with Tony Blair, so he
resigned with Tony Blair. Then we had what's this other guy's name? That funny guy with the funny hairstyle. Boris Johnson. You recall that Boris, just because he did not stay on with the lockdown rules and regulations,
yes,
he was asked to resign. After Boris, who else came on? Was it not Theresa May? Or yes, it was Theresa May. How long did Theresa May stay before she was asked to resign? Her prime ministership was the shortest.
Yeah, she only came to bury the queen.
She only came to bury. After Theresa May, we had another lady. I think what's her name? I've forgotten her name. There's another lady after Theresa May.
John Major after there was John Major after Tony Blair.
Sir, we had another lady after Theresa May. Very short, period.
Yes,
I think she could not deliver the whole situation about Brexit. It was the whole Brexit thing. Before Keir Starmer, do you know that Keir Starmer has been asked to quit?
This is the third time. I think the third time.
It might get into there may be chaos in the UK.
They already resigning.
More than
started resigning.
Yes, that is a government. That is a government that allows for healthy opposition. You get to the National Assembly and say, Senate President Akpabio, I'm not comfortable with your authoritarian lifestyle. Senate President, I put it to you, to the President, that the corruption in this government is too much and they need to make accountable to the people where 210 trillion naira has gone to. Why are we mute and quiet? The lawmakers of each constituent will stand up and ask questions. We are only hearing on your mandate, we shall stand.
And another thing is that, you see that in our own Senate, it's only the Senate President that talks most of the time.
Esther.
Notice very well.
Who else is going to talk? Is the
Senate President?
Thank you very much. Somebody has sent me a message. Joshua Dede, Liz Truss, Elizabeth Truss. Yes, she's the lady after Theresa May.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say, Mr. Elvis? Let's stay on call. Why are we allowing this kind of brazenness? Whether we like it or not, it is important that while we are getting into the next electoral cycle, that these are the pertinent questions to ask these persons that are asking us to re-elect them. There should be a debate, a national debate, and all of these scenes should be highlighted on these individuals. And if this administration respects the honorable Nigerians, because we are the ones who put them there, they must make account. The president needs to subject himself to a debate. It is not a disrespect to address the people and tell us, what have you used our monies that you have borrowed to do? The same thing with the governors seeking re-election. All this consensus brouhaha makes no sense. They're taking Nigerians for a ride. What am I saying, Mr. Elvis? At a point in time where we have a supposed likelihood of practice of democracy, even if it is not completely so, what has stopped the people for judiciously asking for accountability from governance?
The people are now much more concerned about lining their pocket because of where we are coming from and where we are at the moment and where we are going. Listen, by the time election ends in early next year, then government is going to be formed. Look at the kind of politics that will be in the National Assembly. Who is going to remain as president of Senate? You understand? And once that one is gotten, there will be camps. And once that camp, eventually fused into one and they're able to get the Senate president, every other person that were not part of that camp that brought the Senate president, they will not get that juicy position within the house. That's where it starts from. There are some positions they call juicy position in the house that has to do with
house committee,
different committees in the house. So go and look at those that were, if you are the one that everybody is supporting Esther and I'm not in your support, I will not get a committee chairman, and probably the one of the committee I'm going to be made a member will be one of the driest committee in the house. That is where it starts from. This is even the legislative arm that everybody is supposed to be looking at, saying this is the only arm that is supposed to checkmate the excesses of the executive and the judiciary. But within themselves, they fight for fight for committee chairmanship and juicy committee membership of the various committees in the house, because they know how what comes in. You can imagine somebody that is made appropriation committee chairman. Every other person that is coming around in the house is dancing around him. That's where Yayi is.
Can you imagine?
Yayi is the committee chairman, appropriation committee chairman. So ministers that are coming to defend their budget, they stop at his office first, because it is whatever that committee approves for them that they are going to take away. You can imagine how powerful that person is. That person is a strong ally of the president of the Senate. For you to be rewarded with that kind of position, then you now imagine the leader of the house, Bamdele Opeyemi, the leader of the house. You understand? These are positions that the chairman of the petroleum committee in the house. these are positions that they get there, they fight for all this. By the time they finish fighting for all these ones, even the opposition party that are supposed to come and do the bidding of, oh, we want to come and make the change, they will not be eyeing it. They will tell them, come, if you don't belong to a certain committee here, you are like a useless legislator.
Yes,
you know that even
like they need to belong to their courts or group.
Esther, the constituency project allowance that they collect, it differs among senators. Some are collecting as much as $1 billion. Some are collecting like 500 million. It differs. It depends on where your camp belong. This is why it will not work. If you don't belong to the ruling caucus within the house, you are just like a nominal floor member in the house.
Do you know the major problem? There are two major problems that Nigeria is having. I will keep saying it. The first one is that we fail to fight for a credible INEC.
That's where the problem is.
That's the major problem. Nigerians,
not until
the docility, the mindset of Nigeria that we want to be a slave, we are slaves, is one of the major things that is affecting this country. And then we could not make our INEC, our election, credible. So the moment your election is not credible, can you elect credible people there to fight for you? That's the main problem. Because when you go around, you remember, you never see these contestants, these aspirants coming out to convince the people. They don't come out. You don't see them. The only thing you can say about them is the poster. Apart from that, some people will go all over the place sharing food and whatever. You get it for people. They call it empowerment. Then they now put their picture, the picture of the person that is contesting. They put it on the bag of the food they want to give, food packet they want to, whether it's a cooked food in a plate. They will put the brand name, the person's brand on it. If it is a bag of a small bag of maybe
Mr. Elvis,
these are the two problems.
One of the reasons why we're asking these questions is that we're going into an electoral cycle, and what happened in 2023 in some cases should not repeat itself. We had persons who were known who won House of Reps and National Assembly, whatever, under the wave of Peter Obi, you know, where checks and balances were not carried out. We're hearing that some All Progressives Congress political rejects, persons who were rejected, quickly joined the ADC and the NDC. And the way it is, whether we like it or not, money speaks. These guys will go, and because of their money, they will say this is the seat they want. And so I don't know how these political parties intend to go around this, because you may have people who are on ground, who have toiled, who have worked, who have sensitized, and then one person comes with their money bag and with about 5 million or 8 million or 10 million to say, I want the House of Reps, I want to go for this constituency. And these political parties need funding. Now there is an awareness about knowing whoever it is that would go represent you, because we saw what happened where some of those persons who rode on the goodwill or the wave of the Obedient Group and Peter Obi in 2023 got there, became dormant, moribund, irresponsible, and then joined the All Progressives Congress. We now later even heard that some of them had baggages in the past, like Imasue, who was the Senate minority leader that investigated the case of Natasha Akpoti. Or we heard that he was a criminal lawyer in the United States of America. These were the persons who rode on the wave of the Labour Party, and they intend to recontest in 2027, going through other political parties, whereby you now have these politicians being recycled into the system. How do we intend for change to commence now?
It's because there is no ideology, Esther. If political parties are formed on ideology, every political party will have rules and regulations backing it. Stringent one, not money bags coming to hijack it and buy it. What we are saying in Nigeria is only in Nigeria I see a country where individuals form political parties. Political parties are actually formed by like minds. You don't see that it belongs to me. Like Atiku has taken over now the NDC. I mean ADC now. It's only in this nation that APC now, the only person that speaks in this PC today is President Tinubu. Ordinarily, even in Second Republic, no politician can look, an MPN politician can look at this Akinloye, the national chairman of MPN, to eyeball and say, this is what I want to do. He will tell you, this party does not belong to you. Therefore, the party has a manifesto and ideology. If you cannot walk by this our manifesto and ideology, you will not even get the ticket to contest under that party. It was as tough as that during the Second Republic. But this next one we have now, this is where we are now seeing individual now owning political party, and that individual is looking for money back that are coming in to sponsor that political party, irrespective of their background. That's why you see criminals have hijacked political party, and at the end of the day, political parties are not even being sold. Like the president said, privatize another person's political party. Privatization is like you are selling. You are not being sold to money back. Come and buy it. We are tired. Buy it. So that we can. It's only here. If like minds form political party and have an ideology that this is what we are out for, all these shenanigans that are coming in from left, right, center are admitted into the political party, then you are not going to spoil the name of the political party. It will not happen, Wester, because there will be a screening committee to know where you are coming from, to know what your success before now, what have you handled, how have you fared, whether in your private life or your public life, and your qualification and all this stuff will be fully examined. You say, okay, this is even our dues. Do you hear political party member pay dues? Political party member used to pay dues during the NPN and NPN's time. The dues is what now are now used to finance the activities of the political party. But today, money bags now bring out state money. Why did Wike become a demigod in PDP?
Because he was the only one sustaining the party.
After the PDP lost that election, he carried it on his head and started financing the political party. So he now just dawned on him that I can now, manipulate whoever is coming to the political party. He started changing all the chairmen. Any chairman that does not favor him, he was thrown out. His brother Secondus was thrown out. He started changing them because he's the one that is the money bag sponsoring the political party. That is where Nigeria political party have lost it. And if Nigeria political party don't retrace their footstep and get back to what a political party is supposed to be, form an ideology, come with manifesto to contest and win an election and form a ruling government, we will not come back from where we are now. We will still see one person riding at the back of one godfather and get to the house and begin to do the bidding of that godfather. Where that godfather swings, that's where he goes. Bolaji Abdullahi, that is the spokesperson of ADC today, he was a minister in this nation when Saraki was out of government, was out of the political party, that because he was Saraki's boy. He resigned as minister for youth because he was going to follow his boss, Senator Saraki. So we have seen it. Is that political party idea? These are personal ideas. Every godfather sponsor me. Wherever the godfather swings, I will follow. That's why you are seeing people like Kenneth Okonkwo now seeking for. I've now become spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar. Dele Momodu, one of the spokespersons for Atiku Abubakar.
That's even true. Let me ask you this, Mr. Elvis. Why is the opposition lashing out at themselves? I'm shocked to see the Atiku supporters always lashing out at the obedient, not just obedience, Peter Obi. I mean, it's been crazy ever since Peter Obi left to the NDC, and you would have thought that the plan is, you say APC cannot continue, so you're now hearing some of them take it upon themselves to say Obi can never be president if Atiku does not emerge, or Kwankwaso, they would decimate him, and they're even proudly saying that they're preaching the gospel of anti-Obi, anti-Kwankwaso in the north. So it's almost like you're helping the party that you want to dislodge have a clean sweep in your zone. I thought that the idea of the opposition, whether they are different political parties, is to say Tinubu cannot continue in 2027. Tell us why. Atiku is telling us that the money is being spent by the administration into their personal pockets and Nigerians' resources. Okay, very good. Have you come out to tell us what you're going to do different?
Nothing.
Ever since Atiku decided to campaign in 2023, post-election, he went off the radar. Coming over to the election, we started hearing him and we're seeing his appearance. When last did you conduct an interactive session with any of the journalists to give us an entire breakdown of how your administration will be different of that of the APC and what is achievable within the short tenure of 4 years? Because he claims that this is the only time he's running. After 4 years, he's not coming on again. What miracle, what magic can you perform that Bola Tinubu, that had promised that he was going to do something miraculous in the space of 4 years that would elicit us to re-campaign for him, did not do? Felix Moka is asking that Tinubu needs more time because a lot of damage was done by the previous administration, which the president claimed he continued from, or he has always hailed. That is why I hated him making that statement, because because he just put himself into another conundrum. Now, if you said that, yes, you did, for supporting and aligning with that government, see what we experienced, it means that whatever decision was done in that government, it was from you.
Yes, he said he took over from himself.
Openly, he said it now, word for word now.
All you just narrated now boils down to one thing. Obi, ADC wanted to use Obi to show off their names. They wanted to put Obi as the face of the party before Nigerians. Meanwhile, before Obi joined that party, they've already laid an ambush. They've laid banana peas that party belongs to Atiku. So Obi coming in was just like he was wooing, and they wanted to use him like the face of the party before Nigerians, that this is the political party. That's why when Obi now left now, it becomes an issue to them. That's why they cannot stomach it. These are just out of frustration. All this criticism you see left, right, center. You know, because it's just because they know that, oh, the man that they would have used to bamboozle Nigeria, that, oh, is after all, is a member of our party, because he sees that our party is credible, that's why he joined us, has now pulled out. So they've now been left in carcass. Their roof is leaking up, because Nigerians have actually now know that, is it Atiku Abubakar, is it Rotimi Amechi, is it El Rufai or whatever, that are there that Nigerians don't know? Are these the people that actually give Nigeria, or David Mark that can give Nigeria the democracy? David Mark was 8 years Senate president. Atiku Abubakar 8 years vice president. Who are among them? Rotimi Amechi 8 years as governor, 8 years as speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, and 8 years as transport minister. These are people we already know. Obi was just the only stranger that came in. That's why on that 31st of December, right here in this studio, I told you I didn't like this move Obi made.
Yes.
And I was criticized here. But thank God now Obi has retraced himself and discovered that he was a stranger inside that, hawks. These
wasn't a wolf then.
Yeah, wolf then. These are just hawks who are just looking for. Obi was just like a fowl in the midst of a den of a hawk. And thank God he has actually found his way out. Your
analogy is serious, which I don't agree with everything.
Mr. Lawal,
there's something I want to say.
Hold on,
I want to say something concerning. No, not his own. There's something I want to say about the opposition. You see,
okay,
we've been if you remember, we've been complaining, about the opposition.
Yes.
That even when before they formed ADC, they were almost quiet. You remember, even when they formed that ADC, they were also very quiet. Now when they broke, that is, some parts went to ADC, instead of focusing on the ideology, they are still attacking each other, to see that most of them, they lack that political knowledge. The only interest that many of them are after,
tolerant.
It's just that they want something to sit on.
Do you think this is a play of ego? Because the complaint, for example, Rufai Osini interviewed one of the ADC governorship aspirants in the last elections, where he said he was one that funded himself. Now, that governorship aspirant said a lot of issues were taking place in the ADC that led to the 32 state chairmen going to court. Now, he was trying to distance them by saying that the APC was sponsoring them. He said no, APC is not sponsoring them because they need money. In fact, he said if we see the hotels that they lodge and public transport they've been using to go to court ever since this case happened, that when the situation came on, that they complained that PDP was trying to take over their party. That all of them that had kept that party together ever since, they wanted to dislodge them, and that's not how it works. That they tried to give their complaints to Aregbesola and what's his name? David Mark, but they were not giving any listening ear. Then the man also made reference to the fact that they went to meet Peter Obi, thinking that maybe he was a major decision maker.
He was not.
But that Obi said they should go. And if I asked him, are you sure Obi made that say? He said he was surprised that Obi said they should go. Now he now asked him, was it before Obi decided to leave for the NDC? At what point? Maybe he too was about to leave and he knew he could not change or make any decision or whatever there. Then the man said he doesn't really know. But the thing is that the ADC leadership saw this disgruntlement and refused to resolve it. So they complained about arrogance coming from the Aregbesola camp, coming from the Atiku camp, that Aregbesola had his voice that he was ready to put all over the place and they were not ready to concede. The same thing too with Atiku, and they were not giving listening ears to them that they were on ground. This was obviously what caused the problem that made them go to court, and they came to meet him to seek for funds. Now the man said he doesn't mind so long as the coalition has the interest of Nigeria, but that these persons are too self-serving, Now, Bolaji Abdullahi is coming out to tell us that there is a tendency that the opposition may present one candidate. Is he referring to himself and the ADC, or is he referring to the entire opposition as a whole? Is it, do they intend to collapse to another political party? Because right now, a faction is telling some members in the ADC to stop buying forms from the David Mark led group because of the court case, especially the Federal High Court case concerning the leadership, where the state chairman themselves went to court. The NDC has zoned their ticket to the south, and they're moving on. They're being strategic in how they're handling things, despite whatever is going on. So my question is, why was it difficult with these supposed experienced politicians to handle these issues and see how they could give everybody their rights, whereby things have gotten to a point in the ADC where a supposed coalition that seemed to be the outright one to supposedly dislodge the government now seems weak? Because Bolaji Abdullahi admitted that the exit of Obi and Kwankwaso was indeed a setback.
Now, my own is this, that leaving the ADC splitting could be a strategy among themselves, which they don't want to talk about. They want the outside people to see it as a fragmentation. So
why the attack ever since Peter Obi left? Like serious attacks, if they were indeed going to coalesce at some point.
One thing is this, before they formed that ADC, I keep saying it, that there's something they put on ground for Obi in which he agreed with.
What was on ground?
No, because I for him to join, because he knew that Atiku was already forming the party before Obi. They went to consult with Obi.
They didn't form the party, they joined the party.
No, that's what I'm saying, that he was
they were in the coalition
around
18 months
consulting,
together,
doing this and that. Then we saw his hand already tight. He went to meet Aregbe, this and that, and then came on board. But along the line, Obi had to pull out for two reasons. For me, one, there are already many issues. There's too many focus on ADC. If you watch very well, there are too many focus, and that focus might cause problem. You know why? Because they've seen all of them mass up into one party, and then creating problem in that party can actually undermine their progress in being in the parliament. So they might have decided among themselves that among them, there were a lot of consultations among them. They might have decided among them that Obi, sir, why not? Are
you following the political space? No, but when we speak, let's speak of what is realistic. Are you following what's going on in the polity?
Yes.
If you're following, you would not. It doesn't seem like there's any form of having to supposedly reintegrate afterwards or coalesce afterwards. It doesn't seem like a strategy, because you now have persons that you think you're going to have some whatever together. They're fighting themselves. Especially the Atiku camp.
What about it is a strategy?
Hold on, sir. It's too derogatory for that. And Bolaji Abdullahi's exactly whose interest?
Listen, that when they splitted, I said that.
Sir, no, let's be realistic. In whose interest? In whose
interest? Some weeks ago, they were in Ibadan for Ibadan declaration.
And at that particular one, not everybody was even in admittance to what the true matter was. Do you know that Sheyi Makinde is supposedly on May 14 to tell us the political party he's joining? And we're hearing is the APM along with Bala Mohammed. Now, that was somebody that we thought in the ADC was going to join, that we heard that Atiku was shopping for to deputize him before Peter Obi left. Now, they said they want to go to Amechi. Amechi is saying, no, this direct primary, we're going to do it as was the agreement from the onset. These were the things that Peter Obi wanted to stay away from. So if you have a Sheyi Makinde joining the APM, also wanting to contest in these elections, are you not already seeing a already polarized supposed coalition? So what strategy is that?
Have you forgotten that we are dealing with politicians? Do you know that? Listen to me.
Mr. You're giving these guys too much credit. There's no credit to what they do.
At the last minute, they can even collapse their structure into one person. Have you forgotten that?
In such a dirty manner.
Who told you? These parties are politicians.
Who's supposed to take the brunt for it?
In America too now.
I've never seen any of them insult Atiku. Like literally, nobody's insulting Atiku. Nobody's insulting David Mark. So Peter Obi, hold on, sir. Hold on. So Peter Obi is the fall guy. I'm just saying, for whatever theatrics they are playing, where they will eventually coalesce, he's the fall person.
Can't you see the direction the whole thing is going? Can you see the direction? Wait now. Atiku Obi moved to NDC. See a lot of movement within a short time.
There is movement in the NDC and the ADC. There is movement in the NDC and the ADC.
It's more in the ADC when Obi and Kwakwaso moved. Now you can see the way the direction of the whole things is going. At a point, you will see there are still going to be some kind of reconstruction when it is almost the time of election. Go and write it down. It happens in America. Kennedy stepped down for Trump. He said, I collapsed my structure, go and vote for him. So it can happen. It happens.
We're not ruling out that fact. We are saying now, who is the fall guy for this supposed pretense, as you claim that eventually they'll coalesce into somewhere? Who is the fall guy?
But we can see that Obi has a lead out of all of them now. He has a lead in popularity now.
You're not getting it, Mr. Lawal. You're mixing what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're not talking about who has a lead or who doesn't have a lead. The opposition are clashing amongst themselves. You say you don't want this government to continue, but you're helping this government to continue, because even if Nigerians want an alternative, if you as an opposition behave irresponsibly, how do you expect them to entrust you? They will say, let us continue with the calamitous administration. After all, it's remaining 4 years. We're also going to suffer it together. And then when it's now time of the North, we can now decide that we're doing something afresh. So if you say you don't want this administration to continue, what are you preferring? I have never heard one of them come out to tell us what they intend to do different from what Bola Tinubu is doing. The only person who has spoken and has been consistent is Sowore. Peter Obi has spoken, yes, but not in details. Atiku himself, I have never heard anything other than complaint and the fact that he feels he's the only person more qualified and strong enough to dislodge this administration. So if you want to remove something, what are you replacing it with?
This is the time they're supposed to be selling that to Nigerians. But unfortunately, this is the same time now they have now started attacking Obi. You see, there is even no, they are campaigning for the ruling party. With this their clash among themselves, they are not campaigning for the ruling party. The ruling party is watching them like an umpire now, looking at them disgracing themselves in the social media and even in the mainstream media. And that is even giving the ruling party much more credibility to themselves, having the boldness to tell Nigerians much more lies, because the opposition that Nigerians were actually looking at, this is going to be the Jesus Christ that is coming to salvage the situation. They've already splitted the house by themselves. But there's still something that is going to come up, Esther, after the primaries. Yeah. Yes, there's going to be disgruntled elements in all the political parties. Are going to be disgruntled, especially now that consensus and direct primary is the system. Consensus. Some of the big men in the respective states will pick their own persons. The direct primaries, the money bags will hijack the system. There is going to be clash. So it's going to be much more serious than this when the primaries come. So all those disgruntled politicians from all the political parties are now going to look for a political party that they feel is a little bit fatter and tell my supporters, come, I was treated wrongly here. We are looking at this place. You understand? It's not just membership now. We are talking about voting. You know, even if you belong to APC, on the day of election, you can go and vote for NDC. The electoral act did not say you should not vote. They are not going to use the register to start tracing voters. You understand? So they cannot begin to move their own camp to that political party they feel this is a little bit fertile for them, and they have a little bit of understanding. That's the only one that is going to
now, what now happens with the Turaki-led faction of the People's Democratic Party? Because we're hearing that they are collapsing their own structure to join the APM. So what does that mean?
That one is an arrangement between Turaki and Bala Mohammed.
Okay.
Bala Mohammed is actually the one that is, coming up with APM.
Okay.
So everything you see there, that eventually, if the court now grants that Turaki faction the leadership of PDP, at least they already have the platform.
Why can't the ADC do the same thing?
ADC
with the leadership crisis they are having now.
ADC will not do that now until after the primaries, because ADC
until after the primaries.
Yes, after the primaries, that's when you will see them, members, disgruntled members will now go and vote for other political party. The disgruntled member of ADC cannot move to any, they cannot begin to have an alliance with any political party now, because the people that they actually believe that is the enemy of ADC is Obi and Kwankwaso that has actually left now. The rest that are leaving now, you see, some of that's why they are angry now. Some of them there was they said, they are leaving does not even make any meaning to ADC, but they know it makes a lot of meaning to them. That's why they have recruited.
No, David Mark has admitted. Bolaji has admitted.
That's why they have recruited more people to social media and even mainstream media now begin to castigate Obi and all others because of the pains that it brought to them. They are leaving, their exit. But APM, PDP, Turaki's fashion is just one ticket.
Okay.
It's not going to sail anywhere. But you know what they want to do? They want to use that political party to see if they can hold grip to their respective states. Before now, nobody was talking about any political party in Oyo. Okay. And even the same thing in Bauchi state. And these are two very formidable states. Everybody that is now converging around APM, PDP in Oyo, Makinde will roll out 100% of his support to that person to get that, to see if they can get their Agodi house back.
So is that what what's his name, Bolaji Abdullahi was referring to, that the opposition will present one candidate, a formidable candidate? Are we seeing something like that to take place?
It's not going to be possible to present one candidate now, because opposition parties at that time of saying presenting one kind, the window are already closed. What is going to happen is that people are going to move their supporters and say, come, collapse their structure into another person I believe in, vote for this person. We are going to see more of that, because all of them, politicians have supporters, they have followers, and that's what they boast of.
The IPAC chairman has joined the NDC. We're having a lot of Labour Party members collapse their structure for the NDC. In fact, a lot of them, maybe they may seem low-key, but a lot of them actually. In fact, let's just say they transmuted to the NDC.
Esther,
immediately Peter Obi left.
If it's even possible, that's another area I'm even looking at NDC to come to. They can work with Labour Party.
Okay.
You understand? NDC and Labour Party now is like the same father but different mothers in a family.
Yeah,
that's what I look at it too. But they have the same father but different mother. That's the mother have more than one wife. You understand? That they can say, okay, at least we are still have brothers and sisters, let's work with this one. That is if the arrogance that is, you know, very prevalent with politicians does not come in. It was the arrogance that made Kwankwaso and Obi could not work together in 2023 general election.
Yes.
Kwankwaso was just there at the top, thinking that he was the best, very arrogant and full of ego.
At that time,
I saw him in this last interview or 2 days ago.
It was beautiful.
He has dropped that arrogance. He has now come to discover that, there must be that meeting point for us to be able to fight this monster before us, which is APC. And I think I love that in him, in this very one. But that came with a price, Esther. That price is only 4 years, and after 4 years, you know, he's going to be the one that will fly the
for 2031.
He's going to be the one that will fly the ticket of that NDC
for the next 8 years.
So that's why he has come down. Now you see, when he said, even my daughter accosted me, why don't I work with Obi then? But arrogance was too much.
No, I think Kwankwaso is looking at the long stretch, which is beautiful, because politics is all about interest.
No, it's all about
and Peter Obi is comfortable with it. He doesn't mind, and even the obedience don't mind. But some people are trying to attach it like it's he's not doing right by the Southeast, and Peter Obi has never ruled on the whole representing the entire voice of the Southeast, or putting himself out there as a southeastern leader, because a particular faction of Ohaneze Indigbo, well, there's a political group anyways, they have always been into money. That's all their concern has been about. I don't think they're all about the interest of the southeast. It's personal for them, it's politics. They don't have the southeastern interest. But what we're trying to say now is that for the southeast, being the fact that they've not been able to even smell the vice presidency, do you think it was wrong to go on in this 4-year one dispensation? At least that possibility.
Let's even start from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
A barren woman never had a child all her years. Fortunately, God gave her a child, and they said the child's brain is not strong. Are we even talking of the brain is not strong, or at least the barren woman has had a child? Let even be that at least from nowhere they can have a president probably in 2027 that comes from the eastern extraction. It's the beginning of something, at least.
There's a sense of belonging.
Then forget about Ohaneze.
And trust.
No, that one is a faction. And
trust.
And forget about all those faction, Esther. They are not even the one that are going to vote. The car-carrying members of the eastern most part of Nigeria now are actually majorly the youth. If you look at the clash in all the social media, whether Kwankwaso group, Articulate group, Obedient, they are the young ones. And these are the young ones that the old ones have almost bastardized their future. Myself that is speaking here today, we thought military was our problem when I was a student. But today, I've come to discover that military is not even part of it's not even our problem. Because we were saying democracy. Since democracy came now, about 27 years now, we have had this democracy, it has not fared better than when we had the military. Only very little things that we could speak as we are speaking now. Those are the different. There's freedom of much more freedom of speech now for everybody to speak.
Yeah.
That's a few different. If you look at the corruption remains, decay in infrastructure remains, this lies in government remains. So the flamboyant lifestyle, it's even worse now because military don't have this retinue of people to service. You have junket of National Assembly, 360 persons over there. Then you have 400 and something in National Assembly. You have governors, 36 governors, and all their commissioners and the state house of assembly. Then you now begin to have commissioner having aides. Commissioner have aides, apart from governors having aides. This one, President Tinubu, all the ministers that went with him on this trip now, they took their aides along with them. They don't have all this one. We don't have this kind of expensive lifestyles as much as this in military government. But we were looking for freedom. We were looking for opportunity. We want to be counted among the civilized community of nations in the world, because any country that practices military administration is not a civilized nation.
Okay, let's see. What about the United States' interest in the upcoming elections? We've heard that they're highly interested in how the elections of 2027 will take place. We heard about the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, visiting J.D. Vance, and there are talks that could be one of the reasons why he's being marginalized. I don't consider that authentic enough. Let me hear what the presidency has to say about it, because I think Nuhu Ribadu publicized that event to show others who felt that, Tinubu's administration is not being recognized by the US, to say, look at us, the US is admitting us, and whatever it is we're doing, we're in good talks with them, and there's a sense of collaboration with the United States in terms of dealing with insecurity. But up till now, though, we're thinking that with all of the optics, the president would have met with them. There would have been a meeting possibly between the president and J.D. Vance or Trump. So why has that not taken place? We've never heard that we've been seeing only emissaries.
Esther, we read in this studio, we analyzed in this studio the billions that were used for shoring up their image abroad, for lobby. Part of that is what you are saying. It's a gradual thing. It's still possible that President Tinubu may even meet Trump. You saw last time the wife met Trump, and the wife became
he recognized
by Trump. So that lobby is working. Don't think it's not working. That's why you see the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, can come and snap picture with J.D. Vance.
They had a meeting. He went there.
Had a meeting and snap picture with him, and it was in the front of all the news.
So why would they say that's the reason why he's been marginalized with the introduction of the General of Homeland Security? That's what Paul Ibe is saying.
No. He couldn't have gone on that trip without the approval of the president. He would have gone on it. Forget about it. That's another narrative, because Ibe belongs to an opposition, so he will always want to speak those things that Nigerians can use to have favor. That pity towards his boss, that things are not working with the ruling party as expected. Then, forget about that.
I want to say something. One thing is this: you see, Trump is a very, very straightforward, less political type of person. If you decide to visit Trump, the press are always around him, and the way he will talk openly, and then he might prompt you to talk, and you may not be able to talk, and may create problem. I think maybe that is why the president has not gone to see him, and is sending some other people to go there first to see how things are.
If the president is confident, if the president knows that there is nothing Trump will say if the president knows there is nothing Trump will say that will shame him or make him seem irresponsible, like when Cyril Ramaphosa went or any other of the leaders went, if you're confident in that, you shouldn't be afraid to have a meeting with Trump, because your hands are clean. According to you said that yes, if the president says his hands are clean, you feel that your economic reforms are the best of it. You feel that the strategy you have applied for insecurity is the best of it. Why should we be afraid? Is Trump not a man like him?
Do you know when the president went to visit Starmer?
Keir Starmer.
You see how he was properly shielded from the press? Do you think you have tried that with Trump? You get what I'm saying?
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm telling you, do you see how he was properly shielded from the press?
Who was shielded from the press?
The president now. Did he meet Kemi? You see the way the whole thing was played around. It's difficult when it comes to Trump.
Sir, now, what we're saying, Mr. Lawal, let's not get confused in this whole thing. What I'm trying to say is that nothing stops the president from meeting Trump. If you do not have anything, I am saying no, it's true. If you do not have anything, nothing stops you from meeting Trump.
Where
you could seal a deal with Trump. We know that you're going to assist us. If you have nothing to hide, it's simple.
Esther,
there should be no politicking about it.
We are hearing in the filler that Atiku will visit US and probably may meet Trump.
I
think that will give
he want to meet the house.
That may give the president the challenge to say, okay, let me also make the move.
Yes.
Then we will not hear more. We are here in Nigeria. In Nigeria, here we are here in Nigerians as Nigerians. Whatever that comes out of whether the president make us in mind to visit the president of the United States of America, is going to be in the media, and we'll also be discussing it here. So let us wait for that time to come, Esther. But we have been seeing some of his footboys now. I'll be going. You know, but the lobby, the money they pay for that lobby is actually working. It's working in the US.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll open the phone lines where you can be part of the conversation. To kindly stay with us.
House dey dark and NEPA bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. So no chon don come. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaco, na you dey control your light. Yohaco dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and dem go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, abi for industrial work, Yohaco stand chim to help you. Bye to NEPA bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oya run call Yohaco for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we dey for shop F1179 industrial section, Ojo Alaba International Market, or shop G6 electronic section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Ute Ubochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karo District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we dey for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Eli Trade Center for Rivers State. Yohaco website na www.yohacoproducts.com. Online store na www.yohacostore.com. Yohaco, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's time for us to take your calls on 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756338, 0817-1756338. That is the WhatsApp number for you to send your messages to, and the number to call is 080-3692-9933. Mr. Lawal, you wanted to say something so we can pick up a call. You wanted to address something.
Now, what I want to say is that towards the end, these are politicians. Towards the end, sometimes it's not about the post. It's about what they can get, consensus towards the end. There can be ministerial posts being shared. There could be appointment being shared. Somebody can say, okay, I'm going to give you my instruction.
Are you referring to the opposition political party?
Yes.
So they can still come down. They can still concessions.
Yes, they can still come back and
when they collapse their structure.
Okay,
and
thank
get one candidate as some people believe.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's look at that. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am fine. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. What's your name?
Yes, this is Remy.
Remy, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Remy.
Good evening, sir. Mr.
Remy, what happened? People have been asking of you that you've not been calling. Yes, now they've been asking, where are you? Did you travel?
I didn't. I'm still here.
Okay. All right, Remy. Go ahead. Welcome.
Thanks to everyone who asked after me.
Yeah.
issue tonight is with you and Mr. Elvis.
Okay.
Was there ever a day before 2023 and after 23 and this moment that Obi does not get bashed either by his counterparts, oppositions? He gets bashed every now and then. Why was Obi not declared the winner in 2023? Was it because he was bashed by opposition? The answer is no. The article was opposition to him in 2023. The articulates were against Obi. They bashed him even more than they are doing now. The Kokwanso was against him in 2023. Now they are together. The APC online and offline rats were against Obi. So whatever happened in 2023 and now are not different in any way. So are we concerned about whether he's been attacked or not? Was that why he lost the election? The answer is no. We saw what INEC did with the election. So why can't we focus on how we can get a credible, free and fair election? Even if all the opposition comes together, will they be in charge of INEC? The answer is no. Obi all by himself. We saw what happened in 2023. There was no governor behind him, no councillor. It was Nigerians who gave him their vote. And Obi won 13 states. So whether they come together now or not, we are not determined. They are not the one in charge of INEC. If Akinkuton follow the same path as Yakubu and declared someone else to be the winner, what are we going to do? I think that should be the crux of the matter, because that might happen again. We can see what ABC is doing broadly, like sharing money to people, make them poor so that you can use poverty against them, and they are doing that in broad daylight every day. So how are we not saying that? Whether Obi and whatever bashes them, it's irrelevant. It can't change the price of bread in the market. Talking about what will Obi or anybody do differently, Obi has been saying this since 2023. What he will do differently, either via Twitter post or in the interview. So saying what are they going to do differently is like sounding like a broken record. He has said it several times. Go and check his posts. Go and check his interviews. We all know Obi is prudent. He has shown that. He has said that severally. So saying that, what is he going to do differently? He has not said what about his manifesto? What about that? So let's not help the Alulia boys push the narrative. Good evening.
Good evening, Remy. Thank you very much. So I think what we're discussing, Remy, was why the opposition, who claim that they want a change in governance, are fighting themselves instead of supposedly critiquing and monitoring how they intend to supposedly dislodge an administration they contend with or they have issues with. That is basically what we're saying. You know, if you say that you are the best alternative to what Nigerians need, in compared to what is currently there, then exactly why are you not focused on that? Why are you lashing out at each other? Whether you are in different political parties, move on. What is the initiative? What is the priority? To provide an alternative system of government, or provide an alternative that Nigerians can believe and trust that represents their interest. That's what we are saying. So if you guys are not putting up a united front, how do you expect Nigerians who are not in any political party to trust that you as an alternative is better than what they have now? That's, I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
From the prisons, El-Rufai has even condemned that today. I read a report on it.
You can imagine.
They should shift their swords.
They should stop it.
El-Rufai has condemned it.
You know. So anyway, 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I'm fine.
My greeting to your guests.
Thank you very much, sir.
And also, I want to greet that in advance tomorrow.
You want to greet what?
But in advance
tomorrow. Oh, okay. All right.
I cannot get tomorrow, so let me greet him now.
Okay.
May God bless you people too in Jesus' name.
Amen.
What I want to say, this is a Nigerian case. Wow. You get that CBO. But I want to let you know that Nigeria have a foundation problem. Our Bible says, Psalm 11:3, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? 2023, everybody know how it goes. Everybody come out in mass with the PVC, voted. INEC declare election around 3 a.m. The next go to court. Maybe a few people sit down and tell us the Even though big television to cut the television way today, I think we go to US and or Chicago, gather the whole information, every document. Before you know it, they say it came late. So this Nigerian problem, Esther, they get a CBO. When our president, when they go see France president, the young man that was appointed in 1977, why can't he go and see Trump, his age mate? Go and see Trump. If his hand is clean, let him travel to US and see Trump. This Nigeria, as a matter tell the truth, the killing in this country is too much. I don't even support election though, because let us call the elders of this country. Let's know the way forward. This killing is too much. Kill even Army General, because they kill and the people know the talk. When they kill one person in the US, Trump will even go to the airport and salute and welcome the person, people they are brought back. But our president cannot even commend Nigerian military. They are dying. People that have children. Do you know many of their wives now are widows? Nothing again. They don't lose their husband. Next thing now the opposition for the barrack. Are you aware? Please, this country there. No wonder Trump will call Nigeria disgraced nation. Now they cannot call Nigeria zoo. Esther, want you go? I'm going to tell the truth, oh. Nigeria, I know Nigeria will not work, and I'm going to tell the truth, oh. We're just coming here to be saying our mind, though. Nigeria not going to work until we visit the foundation of this country. The foundation, if the foundation is shaking, no amount of patching will make Nigeria work. I'm going to tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria have a foundation problem. We, the people of Nigeria, who is the people? Who is the we, the people? Nigerian constitution, we the people. Who is we? Who is we, the people? It's not fraud. Sit down and look for the way forward. All the pastors that protested in the time of Jonathan, what are they now? All of them are close match. I call them tribal pastors, all of them. People are hungry.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We sincerely appreciate you calling. All right. Hello, good evening. How are you?
No, Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Baby girl, Kekwanu.
Adimoma, welcome.
Nigeria don't choke you.
Nigeria
don't wait for no day enough.
I'm weak. I'm weak, man.
Esther, can I ask a question? Sorry, gentlemen in the studio, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I still remain Akpan, aka Malik.
Malik, you're a true Nigerian.
My voice is shaking you. My voice is shaking you. Nigeria benefit us. Anyway, Esther, when you talk about government of a team and you look at what Nigeria is, do you think the people themselves are ready for good Nigerians? I don't even understand me.
You mean, do you think Nigerians are ready for a good Nigeria?
Yes. The citizens, are we ready for good governance? If a whole council is having PA, council they get PA, and you feel ready for good Nigerian, Esther, we could be shouting hunger, this and that. Give me 1,000, I vote for the present party, and I forget tomorrow. The problem is us. No matter how much APC have loot, or no matter what they have done, if the people say we don't want this government today and make it turn towards his name cannot change the electoral result. Let's be sincere. You are talking about David Mark and Co. Esther, is there any way an armed robber will go against armed robber? I don't call names, so let's be sincere. David Mark was a governor. David Mark was a minister when I was in primary school.
Okay, during the military administration, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But in that time, Nigeria was not better than now. The thing the military did in Nigeria was better than now. You came and said subsidy is gone. You have a better blueprint for subsidy. And we're buying fuel 1,330, 1,350. Esther, 1,500 naira of fuel is 10 liters. Man that is driving that for bus, tell me how will he feed his family? And you expect us to be no corruption. Look, if you want to change this country today, anybody that comes in, sack all the PAM secretary, all the PAM sec, sack them. Number one, the PAM sec will teach the governors and anyone is heading any ministry how to steal more. We are shouting governors, shouting ministers. The PAM sec are worse than them. Go and do your research. Esther,
Sir?
our problem is election. No. Our problem is the citizen. When we are ready for good governance, we know what to do. Esther, do you know pure water is 15 naira for one sachet?
One lie. That one moves me.
15 naira for one sachet, and you're telling me
And the bottled water is
working
200, but 250 naira.
As tough as Buhari is, as a former minister of health, I became a president. Buhari did not make pure water to be 15 naira for one. You came, I say a Democrat, and pure water is 15 naira per one. And we said it's working. I bought, as I took it out from mechanic workshop, I bought pure water. I said, give me 5 pure water, and I brought 100 naira. The woman gave me, said, no, this 5 is 200. I said, what? Pure water. Esther, pure water, 15 naira for one sachet. And you know funny thing? To the men in the studio, the people that escort the president to the airport to wave him goodbye are the people that receive him abroad. Who is fooling who? Nigeria. I can't imagine.
Good night. Take care. All right, 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
I greet Kundai and the man who in the studio.
Mr. Elvis Elimehele.
Okay, Mr. Elvis Elimehele. I greet you, sir.
Governor Okpebolo's brother, Abi Pikin.
Oh, wow.
It's my younger brother.
Mondo.
Yes.
No state man.
Yes.
I won't know how to disturb the millions of naira.
Because it's not a thief. That's why I cannot count money.
My brother, you don't speak well. We don't have the problem in Nigeria that we don't have judiciary. Because we have the law, we be guiding both the governors and the masses. This is this law. The only masses they guide, the guiding the orders, the president and the senators. We have the law who be able to guide everybody in Nigeria. This nonsense cannot happen. It can stop. But we have the law where we say only masses. The law cannot guide the people when they on top. I don't be looking all those things. When the people are stealing and embezzling the money, the EFCC are able to corrupt it to pursue the people, who are doing those things. And people with embezzling the billions of money are there. So I don't actually be looking this. I don't know where I'm standing. That maybe a lawyer can begin to say on the mandate to stand there. And believe it so, he cannot see a lawyer went to party. He cannot see the lawyer who they follow the politician. But this time around, you will see many lawyers and following the politician for years, like when the dog see the children when they go to people. I don't understand. So that's the problem we have. And again, let me tell you, Esther, as the prayer by God's grace, I'm speaking with the authority, with the power in the heaven, the Holy Ghost. Let me tell you the APC. From now to August, I give them from now to August, then they get the problem where go scatter themselves one by one. Because of confusion, when they put other politicians on top. In the name of Jesus, they must get that confusion in the other four in the name of Jesus. May God bless them. Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Hello. I picked your call on WhatsApp or you're muted. Hello.
How are you?
Good evening.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
Is that Esther?
Yes, this is Esther, sir. Good evening. What's your name?
All right, good evening. This is Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins. Calling from where, sir?
Yes. I'm actually calling from New York.
From New York. All right, Mr. Collins. Please go ahead, sir.
I so much enjoy your program.
Thank you.
I think this is the first time that I'm actually listening to your radio.
Really?
So I had every discussion and everything.
All right.
And I love what most of you guys are saying about the government, because we have to call a spade a spade. If Nigeria was actually good, I wouldn't be here in the United States, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, the government, they've been rubbishing the country. Like, they're not helping matters at all. every day is different bad news from Nigeria. At least we are the most populated country in the world, and we should have been the first black people to be showing good example, because they said charity begins at home. So if you allow your people to be killed on daily basis with the insecurity problem going on in that country, even most of us cannot even come home because of the bad government. You know what I'm saying? I think this time Nigerians should wake up and try to, support the right person, the person with integrity and, competent, I think with that, Nigeria will move forward, because all these politicians, they are just there for their family. They are building the foundation of their generations to come. So they don't care about the ordinary people. So it's left for the ordinary people to stand up and say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should stop all these shenanigans going on within the government sectors or whatever, because they are all business people. You know what I'm saying? They are not ready to serve the people. So this 2027 election that is about to, that we are planning for, because I will be around. I will definitely come by the grace of God.
Very good.
So hopefully we will all, work together and get the best, because that's what I'm hoping. Because sometimes I begin to imagine that we black people, I don't know if it is a curse that a black man will never see anything good in their life. You understand? Black people, we are very, very wicked. We are wicked. It is from the wickedness that we are suffering from right now, because I don't see a reason why Africa as a continent have all the resources that the Western world don't even have. But yet, the people themselves are the cause of their problem. The people are the cause of our problems. The tribalism and all the nepotism going on in Nigeria is enough to create chaos. So we have to stand up and do the right thing this time.
All right. Thank you so much, Colin.
So that is what I have to say.
All right.
Thank you.
I so much appreciate you for picking up my call.
Thank you, Colin. Do have yourself a wonderful day, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, bye.
You too.
All
bye
right.
bye. All right, bye.
08036929933. 08036929933. And just like Collins from New York did, if you are in diaspora and you're virtually being part of the conversation, you can actually call on WhatsApp on 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That's the WhatsApp number. You can also send your messages there as well. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Tonero calling from Ododia, Papa.
Welcome, sir.
Esther, man, you look like you're very talkative. You can talk like Amiibo. Since I'm hearing your voice, as if you went to be dissing everybody, talking and talking. And I like your way. The Nigerian problem is greed. We are full of greed. Everybody, both of those politicians, they are full of greed. They have their internal, what they want, that is what they are going for. They are not going for Nigerians, so it's difficult to find who is going for other people. Everybody wants to grab for their grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and that's how we are suffering. Until we have a solid policy to understand that we have short time to live in this life. And everybody, just your name matters. We're not taking anything back home, but your deeds is what we not just like Yara that died. His deeds makes him to live long forever. But these people we have now, they are not thinking of tomorrow. They are thinking of today. Let them eat and kill and die and destroy the whole youth. In fact, they are destroying many of our youth today now. No jobs, no. A lot of girls today, they are going through prostitution and all that, just because people are eating their money up. So let us keep on not just praying, but fighting for a good Nigeria. If Nigeria gets good, a lot of people will be saved from a lot of things.
All right, 08036929933. That's the number to call, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Esther.
Yes, good evening, sir. How are you? Welcome.
I'm good. My name is Shola. I'm calling from Egbeda.
All right, Shola from Egbeda.
Yes.
Please go ahead, sir.
I greet your guests in the studio as well.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, on the lighter note, the last caller, in fact, was it a compliment or it was a yabis? When he said, I know you kept quiet, I was just laughing.
And what do you want me to say? They're entitled to their opinions.
Yeah, we have our different ways of expression,
Yeah.
So, yeah, see, I overheard you guys commending the government, for going after corrupt government officials, And in my mind, I was just laughing. Can you build legality on illegality? Any form of anti-corruption crusade that you hear or see in this country under this government is a form of selective justice or witch hunting. That's my belief. Because you cannot talk, say different things with two sides of your mouth. A government that is saying that go and scatter another party. A government that is saying snatch it, grab it. There was even a video I saw of the president. He was speaking Yoruba. I don't know, maybe it's edited or AI. He was saying Lord G. I think one of your guests must have seen that video. I don't know. A government that acts with so much impunity, your so-called democratic government, and everything you are doing is undemocratic. There's no hope. For me, I don't see any hope in this government. You can't tell me you can cast that devil. Jesus asked. It's not possible. With all these shenanigans, look at even the what I see in the conversation of tonight is that how can this country be good again? Because even the people in the opposition, apart from Obi, because Obi is the only one that is left amongst the many that could have been, in the fray. Obi is the one that you can see that, okay, this man is different. I like the analogy one of your guests used. That is like the chicken among the vampire, the hawks or something.
Yeah.
So it's good for him that we have left to another party. Let's see how it goes. But Nigerians, we ourselves are the problem. Without bad followers, there can't be bad leaders. We are our own problem. If somebody can come out and be saying that 10,000 naira is enough to feed a family for how many days? If somebody can be, they will go to Europe and be comparing how much they are buying, how much they are selling for it. In fact, Esther, we are our own problem. Let us search within ourselves. Let us tell ourselves the truth and do the right things. If not, forget, we are not going anywhere. Thank you, Esther. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak my mind.
Thank you, Shola. Thank you for calling. Mr. Elvis, have you gone to go and buy fresh fish, like Kote or Titus in the market? I'm not talking about the carton or just one.
I want.
Have you tried? Has wifey told you how much?
It's costlier than meat now.
No, wifey don't tell you how much.
No. I not even
you go just come house, see soup, chop fish inside.
Is it not you want to pay?
One, you go to hear 4,000, 4,002, 4,005.
Yes.
No, be say the fish big and I'm talking of Kote. That Kote used to be cheaper than Titus.
Yes.
Kote before that you want to buy 1, 2. Hi, Jesus Christ.
You are not talking about shower.
No, I don't eat shower. At least you want to eat fresh fish that you fry, correct, with inside small sauce.
Ice fish, not fresh fish.
Mr. Elvis, one Kote.
Yes, so that's why somebody said you can feed your family with 10,000 naira.
So imagine if you have 10,000 naira, you want to cook one small what do they call express egusi soup. You will buy one thing, this half derica of blended egusi. It's 1,000 naira. You can't buy one Kote 4,000. Wait now, one Kote, and this is the 10,000. You want protein inside your soup. You now buy one Kote 4,000, 4,002 plus egusi 1,000 for half derica. That's how much? 5,000 never grow. 5,002. Then the ororo where you want use fry. In this case, you no go even use ororo. You will just cut am, put am inside the soup. Then you go buy one small pepper oton. You never talk of the swallow where you want use swallow. 10,000. It's not better to cook buy egg and put inside egusi soup.
Egg is even expensive.
250 naira.
You now cut into 4.
So you people see that my pot of soup what they use or how I want cook. If you know how hey God. Let us continue. 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
This is Barnabas calling from my regular.
Barnabas, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I greet your guest in the studio.
Thank you so much. Can you speak up, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you now, sir. Yes, better.
Yes, so I've been listening to your program for the past 30 minutes.
Thank you.
It's very difficult getting you.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So many things has been discussed. In fact, when you look at the entire situation, it's difficult to pick a particular place to discuss. More especially, if I observe from many callers, Nigerians are giving up based on the condition of the situation of things in the country, both economically, politically, and electoral-wise. People would have hope if there is a process that allows them to vote of their choice. This time we are wasting in discussing what is happening within opposition. Wouldn't have been relevant if our vote is counting. If the president would have, stand on his achievements and bank on that Nigerians will vote for him, both based on what he has done for the country. But unfortunately, the president is not banking on his achievements. The president is banking on the support of governors and legislators. Is the president not working for the entire country? That is where the problem lies. If we have leaders who, beat their chest, that based on what I have done, built, as we speak today, you can hear what has happened in the courtroom, where a single individual appointed as a minister, which somebody would say honorable minister. An honorable minister is now going to prison to spend 75 years for messing up with 30-something billion naira meant to build his country. And there are a lot of them. So when Nigerians are, losing hope, this kind of situation calls for sober reflection. Honestly speaking, I don't know where we are going to. As we speak today, the governor of is not in charge. And it is assumed that he is the chief security officer of his state. And somebody is somewhere remoting him, like remote control. Do we still have a country? Do we still have democracy? But my own submission is that Nigerians should not lose hope, because God has not given up on us as a human. God can always intervene, no matter the circumstance. Let us come out as usual and vote for candidate of 2007. Let us come out. Let us not be discouraged, because one of the strategy of this present government is to discourage us. If they cannot buy you with cash, they will stress you, make you discouraged, so that you will not come out at all. Some people will tell you, if you are not from this particular place, don't come out. If you are popular, if you are important, if you have the number to, win election, why are you intimidating people not to come out? For me, all this criminal approach to winning election should stop. Have a good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 08036929933. I will soon be taking messages. All right, very soon. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. I greet your guest in the studio.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. I think we are approaching election period now.
Yes.
And by now, you people who are in the information circle, you begin to let us contribute ideas on how the next government should begin to govern this Nigeria.
Very
true. This lamentation of the past, we don't need it again. So I want really to align my belief with the first caller. Because in 2023, Nigerians came out in mass and voted out APC completely. All of us know that. Even the children that are yet on board as at that time knew that APC had lost election. But because of the conniving of the INEC, the judiciary, they did their abracadabra, were still sleeping, they announced the result. So we don't want that type of thing again. I don't want to know what the opposition is doing. We all know where Nigerians who they believe now. Even if I don't mention names, Nigerians already know the next person that they are ready to vote for. And we know that all the shenanigans that is going on now is all about, we must not let him come on board, and so on and so forth. But let us believe that it's not going to happen again. So I'm calling on you people in the information people. Let's begin to ask Nigerians, what are we going to do now to get it right? I don't want to talk how much was the bag of rice, how much was a gari of pure water. No. What are we going to do next year to get it right? That is my own suggestion. This is
all right, thank you so much for calling, sir. I sincerely do appreciate your input. So let me quickly run through some of your messages. Tons of messages actually here. The number to send your messages to is 0817-1756-338. All right, that's our WhatsApp number, 0817-1756-338. You guys, your message don't fool system. System had to refresh itself. Ew. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Esther.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
This is Richard calling from Chicago.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome, sir. Been a long time.
Yeah, so the problem of Nigeria, but Nigeria don't have somebody person. Nigeria don't have person. There is this Justice Uwe's report.
Yeah.
There is the National Confab report, and which we supposed to use to reset Nigeria, but they say no. But you see, we are calling every day, call from January to December. We are still saying the same thing, and nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. In fact, I just got to greet you people. You people are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. All right. So here are your messages. Let's go on with it. This person says, Esther, good evening. Arguments that suggest could be self-serving. Parallel power structure, creating a special advisor position outside the established NSA framework. The president keeps a loyal personal appointee who reports directly to him, bypassing the institutional chain, weakening the NSA. If the special advisor operates with overlapping authority, it could certainly reduce the NSA's influence, giving the president more direct control over security narratives. Political patronage in Nigerian politics. Such positions are sometimes created to reward political allies or regional interests and regional loyalties, consolidating the president's political base under the guise of security architecture. Information control. Having two security chiefs means the president gets competing intelligence briefings, which actually gives him more power to pick and choose what he acts on. From Anthony Perry. Mr. Elvis, he's talking about the Homeland Security and why it's a good call. I think trying to explain where that comes from. Okay. Good evening, Esther and Co. Sally Maman stole 338 billion naira runway and is now being sentenced to 75 years consecutively in absentia. The judgment is apt, but what happens to those who have stolen much more and are warming up for 2027 elections, serving this government? An embarrassment to common sense. Chika from Lekki. Esther, Nigerians has flooded World Bank Twitter page telling them not to give Tinubu loan. Ewo, are you serious? Chineke, pulala. They will tax you. If you don't allow them, give them the loan, they will tax you people. Mr. Elvis,
are they not taxing already? Even with the loan, they are still taxing.
They will impose more tax. So they say since you went to go and meet them, that you people will pay it. Good evening from Adeyemi Kamuru from Banana Island, Lagos. The National Security Advice focuses primarily on external threats and strategy. The Homeland Security Advisor, on the other hand, focuses mainly on internal security and domestic protection. The office coordinates agencies responsible for border security, immigration, defense, internal counterterrorism, internal cybersecurity. Countries such as the US, Israel, France, India operate both structures side by side. All right, thank you. Good evening, Esther, and the two gentlemen in the studio. The president and governors of APC government is governing this country like they are strangers. There is no tangible thing that is being done with excessive borrowing that is currently going on in this country. The so-called roads they presently constructing is never negotiated in public, and nobody knows the actual amount involved in these infrastructures. Honestly, this government is holding Nigerians at work. Ralph from Searchlight Town. All right, good evening, Esther and Mr. Ekundaya, Mr. Elvis. I like what you guys are doing. I pray that God blesses you all. Mazi Chima from Ijesha. Okay. Good evening, Esther, and all in the studio. I'm Mr. Fred from Lagos. Esther, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sold Nigeria to the outside world. He has borrowed more than Nigeria can pay back. Esther, all we need as a president must be an economist, somebody who can economize all sectors to function very well, somebody who will solve the problems of Nigeria, will not share money, because he's not a Father Christmas. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria. God save Nigeria. Good evening, Esther and the guests in the house. I want to ask, why would you write to the World Bank that they are destroying your country? Okay, I'm just hearing this, that they wrote to the World Bank. I just heard. I'm just reading now that Nigerians wrote to the World. Hey, God,
we are servicing debt with 15 trillion.
You just
not an headache? How much is the budget of about 30 states in Nigeria? If you gather them together, over like 15 states, we are using to service them. You still want to borrow more? No, that's
they can't go World Bank Twitter.
Nigerians are taking their destiny into their hands now.
Now frustration.
They go World Bank Twitter.
They're taking their destiny into their hands
because
now.
This one they want to take, nothing is tied to it. They just came up with abstract things.
Yes.
For employment to show up the economy, and for this, nothing is tied to it. This one is just for the political boys to campaign and to buy empowerment for election.
The 210 trillion we don't cover, do. The 800 billion we then carry put for progressive governors for do.
And another thing, the president should give us an outline of how he's going to pay back this money. There should be an outline. What Mr. Evans, there should be a program of how to pay back. This is how we are going to pay back. See, there's no problem.
This government. When he has told us that borrowing is not leprosy.
Good afternoon, Esther. This government of Nigeria, the people trying to become governors or presidents, or people that wants to gain one position or the other, those people, are they ready to do the country better, or do they want to gain one position or the other for them to enrich themselves? Because after gaining one position or the other, and after selecting them, will they continue? They will continue their evil mission, and to me, our vote don't count. Please, your vote counts. So please don't let that psychological manipulation obstruct you from go getting your PVCs. Somebody says, if Nigeria develops, European and USA government wouldn't be happy because we won't need devilish loans from IMF and World Bank. Go and read about structural adjustment program. That's the beginning of our downfall. All right, good evening, Esther. Greetings to your guests. In a country where, after completing 2 terms as governor with all benefits they enjoyed in their offices, and the next move is to the National Assembly as a resting place is, to say the least. That country calls for a particular concern. Are we saying nobody is qualified to National Assembly member in their constituencies? It is now evidently clear that the wealth and the dividend of democracy belong to the politicians and their cronies alone. This is Stephen Akimbisola from Ijegun, Lagos. Good evening, VOP. Until the president stops appointing INEC chairman and the head of judiciary before we can have a good, credible election and stop corruption. Rahim from Agege. Okay,
that's true.
Okay,
very, very correct.
Very correct. All right, this person says another radio station is overlapping you guys. Please,
from where?
I don't want to advertise another radio station here. Please, engineer Austin. Still, kindly look into that. and the engineering team, Bikonu. Why should Atiku come and tell you what he will do differently? Is this time for campaign? Okay. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Akunda, Mr. Elvis, Solomon Asika from Mushin. Esther, you asked a question that what stops us from holding our leaders responsible or even asking questions? The answer is tribalism. This administration took tribalism to another dimension. You can see it from all their spokesmen. Late President Muhammadu Buhari did his own, then passed the baton to the current, and this tribalism has eaten deep into the fabric of our well-being. Go to social media; it's another world entirely. Good evening. The way opposition attacks one another is just irritating. I wonder where the strength to challenge Tinubu will come from when they have used all their strength and energy to fight one another. Tinubu is gradually looking like the strategist he is called by his supporters. Obi and Atiku should caution their supporters. Olumba. This person says, it seems that your analyst knows Obi more than Obi knows himself. Adewale. Adewale, which of the analysts are you referring to, sir? All right, this person says, good evening, VOP. All right, VOP is my choice station, but I want us to be neutral in our discussion. Ask ADC members the stone thrown at them by NDC members when they were leaving the party. We're all striving for perfection. Nobody is perfect. Let's try to be neutral by facing issues, not too much on personalities. Okpaleye Emmanuel from Isala. All right. Okpaleye. All right, Okpaleye. Good evening, Esther. Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Take it or leave it. Makinde is working for Tinubu, period. Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Is that true?
Yeah,
do you think Makinde is working for Tinubu?
It's almost true, because I don't know this horrid APN, PDP presidential ticket he's coming up with. He worked for him in 2023. So anything can happen.
Yeah, but with what is going on with the PDP, he doesn't want to remain partyless, and he has an ambition.
Yeah, he could work for his party at the state level, and at the national level, he can work for his big uncle.
But they're having a clash. There's a lot of clash.
That clash is a political gimmick.
Insult at him.
Okay. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Akunda, Mr. Elvis. Obi and his camp never attacked Atiku and ADC. Seemed to Kwankwaso. Rather, it was Atiku himself, his supporters, and other ADC members. Obi and Kwankwaso have movements, but Atiku has depended on structure. Since the Obi Kwankwaso candidate was conceived, Atiku came out and started fighting and talking. Atiku has shown to Nigeria that they can be different from Tinubu's government. Amici from Mafoluku. All right, good evening. Okay. Good evening, VOP. Nigerians have decisively made up their minds to seek competent, visionary, and accountable leadership, regardless of tribe, religion, or political platform. The hunger, insecurity, unemployment, and economic despair ravaging us are not born from a deficit of national capacity, but from a deficit, of political will and sincere governance. Social thinker from Mount 12. All right, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Fine, welcome. What's your name?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Mark from United Kingdom.
All right, Mark, please go ahead.
I've listened to you people. That's a very interesting topic. But I must sincerely tell you that the problem of Nigerians are Nigerians. Every year of election, these people come out, they share their money, and people will collect it and do things that are not right. After the election, they will go back and start shouting that God will do this, do this. God have done it by keeping you alive until that period. These are a few number of people that is trying to hold the whole country hostage. And they will have population. So mine is that any day Nigeria decided to take back their country, then we take it. We give those people power to stay there. Whether they find it through rigging or not, we allow them to rig it. Because the people coming to rig it are not much number than the people who are voting. I believe that anybody that comes to rig election is a criminal and should be treated like one. So when you are in the polling unit and somebody gives you money to vote against your conscience, after then you will be complaining that the food price is rising. Why wouldn't it rise? Because you never employ the person. The person employed you to vote him. And you vote the person is there. believing that next time he will come and still repeat the same thing to get back to the office. So any day Nigerians decide, take away the ethnicity, take away religion, forget all these things they say. Yeah, we have been praying. God has been so faithful and merciful to us. But any day they decide to take back their country and stand firm and say, enough is enough. By the way, let me ask you, Esther. These people we are mentioning, these people that are doing how many are there?
Yeah, that's the truth. They are not total 10% of Nigerian population.
Very few. You understand? If Nigerians troop out now, and say, these people, we don't want you people again, who is INEC that is going to rig it? Rigging start from the local, then it get to the state. It start from what? You understand? From local to state. From state, then it get to the federal. You understand? We have INEC commissioners that are coming. If INEC commissioner refuse to announce the result of vote people casted, and they let the person go, that's how the person go. But if they use 2-3 people set example, you understand? Others will take note of it and they start doing the right thing. I'm not complaining, making phone calls. People should go and get their PPC and get ready. Let Nigeria come out and say no this 2027 and get it right. Without the right leadership in Nigeria, people will continue to complain. People will continue to suffer. People will continue to Nigeria now. They will use it to do what is it called? This thing they do in the social media that they are making money. That's what they do now. They turn everything to joke.
They turn it to content.
Yes, content creators.
They turn it to content. So how country like that will survive.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
It's quite unfortunate.
Yes, sir.
Quite unfortunate.
Thank you so much, sir. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Mr. Elvis, final take, please.
Yes, we are the problem of ourselves in this nation. That's quite correct.
All right.
You see, the spirit of Nigeria and the greediness of Nigeria is everywhere. Even the UK called us from. They were in the UK sharing 500 pounds when they went to visit the king that day. Nigerians in the UK were also singing their praises. You can see how they've demeaned themselves everywhere they are.
Mr. Lawal Kundara.
Mine is that Nigerians should wake up, stop living or believing, remove that slavery mentality from your mind.
Okay.
Nigerians belongs to all of us. Vote for the person that you think is capable of making progress in this country. No matter the party you are, vote for the right candidate.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Mr. Lawal Kundaya, Mr. Elvis Alimihele, I sincerely do appreciate you giving us your perspective to issues of national import. I sincerely do appreciate you taking your time coming here. I know you guys have very busy lives, but you come in here all the time to supposedly give us that sense of belonging and breaking down issues in the polity. I sincerely do appreciate you. Thank you so much. My name is Esther Wachuku. To have yourself a wonderful evening. I'll be seeing you tomorrow on the Evening Rush. I'll be having Barrister Darlington Agumwa, my troublesome analyst. To have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye for now. Oh, Barrister Darlington. It's a case.